Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Vanzan, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Wyclef Jean.
Okay.
All right. We good, Jeff?
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Out Show on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl, Chanel. And of course, I am here with the ever fabulous Miss Queen B. And so, this is hilarious because I was just looking at us on the camera trying to get ready. But we are here, everybody. It is in the middle of a snowstorm. And of course, you guys know that we are not in studio. So not only COVID, but with the snowstorm, we are not in studio. So we are still on Zoom and we are still from home right now, but we are here every single Tuesday from 7 to 8:30. So first and foremost, before we get into anything, I'm gonna go ahead and relax. And I'm gonna ask you, Miss Queen B, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in an entire week. What's going on with you? How is everything?
Nothing major, nothing minor.
All right, now.
Just here,
Okay. All right.
Actually enjoyed the snow. We hadn't had snow in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Yeah.
This actually reminded me of my childhood,
Oh, right.
It reminded me of my childhood. The snow we used to have. These kids don't know nothing about that.
No, they don't.
I didn't want to send them outside for them to get lost, but they did go outside yesterday and they had a ball and they went out today, which I love. I'm trapped inside. I do my work from home, you know that. So it was actually a regular smuggler day. Today's Taco Tuesday. Wish I had some tacos. You know what I mean?
We would have actually had tacos. I did not have enough shells.
Okay.
That's why we did not have it. I have everything else.
Let me tell you what I ate yesterday, which brought me back to my childhood. Sloppy Joe.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Oh, good for you. Oh, yes, that's awesome.
Yes. Isn't that awesome?
It is.
Thank God for the cooks in your life, because Lord knows, where would I be? Maybe I'd be skinny.
You know what? I'm not doing this with you today. So today we had, in our snowstorm over here, we decided in honor of my dad, who never ate fast food because he just couldn't stand fast food. He was an older Southern gentleman and all that fast food.
Fried everything.
Yeah, everything had to be fried. But he just did not like fast food at all. However, he did always eat at Jimmy Buff's. Now, people from, Essex County and all those out here know that next to Beaucraft, there was a Jimmy Buff's out here. My father always ate, I don't know if I like my background. Let me switch it. My father always ate Jimmy Buff's. And so tonight I decided that it was better for me. There we go. I decided that it would be better for me to create my own Jimmy Buffs. So, we had some turkey sausage, onions, peppers, and potatoes, and mixed all of that together, and a little sauce on, the rolls and everything. So that was our dinner this evening in the snow.
My mom cooks like that.
Yeah. That was our snow day stuff. We got some brownies for dessert. So, we chilling right now. So I honestly, my biggest question of the evening is, should I have wine or should I have hot chocolate? But I'm trying to figure out, maybe I should just spike the hot chocolate, but I don't think I got the right alcohol. So.
I don't know. The caller should tell us what you should do.
Yeah. Should I have wine or should I have hot chocolate?
I think the ladies are going to say wine.
Just cause, right?
I mean, you can have hot chocolate during the day. Right now, it's like a wind down moment.
Okay.
I think wine is appropriate.
Okay. Well, thoughts. Thank you very much for those. In the meantime, everybody, I know I said last week on the show that the entire month of February that we had guests. Unfortunately, our fabulous guest for this evening had to postpone because he is currently filming a reality show. And so his schedule is kind of crazy right now. So I'm not even going to announce him yet. I will announce him when he is able to actually be on the show. So just know it's an absolutely amazing guest. He was supposed to be on tonight, but so we are actually just kind of winging it tonight. You guys know that is not something that is hard to do for Queen B and I.
Not at all. It's so something we do without effort.
Right. So we will wing tonight's show, and we're going to figure out exactly what we're talking about.
The thing is that generally, if you're invited, if this is your first time ever watching the Al Show, I will tell you, welcome. But this is basically conversation amongst us that actually happened naturally. This probably would be the identical to if me and you were sitting across from each other at the house, at restaurant, at anything. This would
the only problem is that it gets extremely scary when we don't have guests, because we probably are going to say things that aren't PC.
Okay.
So things get kind of scary when we can sit around for an hour giving our own opinions on stuff without a guest that's going to, keep us in check.
For that?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So then it's just like, did they say that? And that's
we did
not a good thing.
No, we did.
I mean, honestly, that's all I'm going to say, is that it's probably not a good thing. I've actually gone live for the first time on my Instagram page, not my personal Instagram page, but one of my business Instagram pages. So I am live right now on there. So this is my first time ever being live on this page. I think maybe it was like a long time ago, but my first time ever. So like I said, the problem with a canceled guest like we had tonight is it's just me and Queen B. So you never know what's going to come out of our mouth next. But either way, we'll start with current events. We'll start with what's going on. What do you want to start with, Queen B?
Well, I just want to segue into it, meaning I just want to say today is day 2 of Black History Month. We take this pretty serious. Why? Because we love Black History Month, and we just wanted to,
even though it's all year.
It is all year.
It's all year.
We talk about current events of things that happen with us. We talk about randomly all the time, but I just wanted to recognize when our state or country or whomever recognizes that February is Black History Month. And it is day 2.
It's day 2. So
and we are super souped up because, go ahead, Chanel.
No, I just want to ask you, what are you doing? Is there something that you do in particular? Do you learn more? Do you watch more videos and documentaries? Do you read more up on our culture? Like, is there something in particular that you decide to do for this month?
So like you said, Black history to me is every day. I make it a point to talk to my kids about Black history, letting them know certain things. It's just so funny that their minds today and maybe all week they have had they were talking about Christopher Columbus today, and they were asking me all about it. you know, and you know me being who I am. And I love the fact that their teacher, I overheard her saying to you, if you went to someone's house and saw a pin at the house, if it's at your house, did you discover it? And the kids were like, no, it was already at the house. So her thing was, he did not discover anything.
Yeah.
It was life already over there. So I tend to try to teach them about things that go on. So I don't do anything differently. I probably wear more blackly black t-shirts, you know what I mean? But I don't do anything because I do govern myself accordingly. I love
all year long.
All year long.
Yeah.
All year long. All year long. I do tend to watch, like you said, movies, of course, that kind of delve into it a little bit more. I have some ones I do want to watch with the children. I have some ones I want to watch for myself. The Nina Simone stories and just stories we just don't know. One Night in Miami was excellent. Did you watch that?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, so it was
twice.
It was an excellent movie, right? So I kind of Dawn keep rewinding and kind of like going, because it kind of, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention.
You do.
But no, I do anything different. How about you, Chanel?
No, I mean, when my boys were younger, I used to, when my boys were younger, it was, we are definitely going to learn about this. I'm going to make sure you learn about that. When they were younger, they're grown now. So I don't put as much into it. But as I'm sitting here talking about it, I definitely feel like moving forward, I want to do something. I don't know what that is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is something ceremoniously black? Like, do we have anything that's ceremoniously black?
I'm sure we do.
Like stereotypically, do I eat chicken?
Eat chicken. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No watermelon, nothing like that.
Is that what I'm supposed to do with an uptown? Like,
wanted to. You know what? It's funny.
Wait,
other
cultures drink uptowns.
You know what? You're right. But this is the funny thing. So I wanted to take the kids to DC. I wanted to take the kids to DC for the holiday that's actually coming. I wanted to take them in January, but I wanted to take them going. But of course, everything happened, so I could not. I want them to see the African American Museum, which I find to be just beautiful. It's just some things that when I went there, the Martin Luther King statues and things like that I went there, like, now you see as a kid, and it doesn't mean as much because you're just with your friends and you're kind of not paying attention. But when I went there and just took it in as an adult, I literally always feel something. Like I drank at a water fountain outside, and I took the picture in front of the water fountain because I'm like, listen, I am 41 years old, and I just remember that 60, 70 years ago, 80, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that. Yeah. So I take this drink. I remember taking a picture saying I'd sip this drink of water because we could not do that. We could not go in restaurants and sit down and, whatever. So that's my thing. Like I'm black 1,000 times.
Yeah. Every day, all year long. But again, I just wanted to know, do other cultures drink uptowns? Like, because I'm just trying to, like,
maybe they label it something different.
Lemonade iced tea. Like, do they do that or no? I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going with this for the rest of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Is that a part of what I am going to put in my ceremonial celebrations daily? Like, I don't know.
But shout out to Stephania Clark, who brought Black Trivia back. She does it every year. And unfortunately, because the show is on Tuesdays, she generally does it at 7:00, and she kind of gives the answer around like 7:30. But I love it because it makes you think. And she does no one that you would think of. Like, she does nothing that you'd be like, you are literally thinking like, who is this?
Right.
But shout out to her who brought it back, because I think she took off last year. And we all were kind of waiting for it, but it's a beautiful thing. So maybe I'll be answering while I'm on the show.
Yeah.
Or
No,
shout out to her.
seriously speaking, joking with the whole Uptown thing, but no, seriously speaking, I definitely want to learn more about powerful women and powerful couples in our history.
Okay.
Because I think that is important, because right now, everybody has all of this admiration for Barack.
Love and hip hop, or
for Barack and Michelle.
Oh,
but outside of Barack and Michelle, it's we kind of waver after that.
I mean, I can name a few. Like
there's a few, but I feel like we're losing them, and I'm using that as a segue. Yeah, I'm using that as a segue to go into this T.I. and Tiny thing.
Okay. I want to say really quick before I know you're going to give us a backstory, but Ossie Davis.
Remember? Yeah, Boogie and Ossie Davis. I mean, they're so this generation, everybody
they don't have I thought Asher and Simpson was a powerful couple. I love them.
Right, but you're speaking of deceased people. I am talking about.
I will have you know that one of them is still alive.
Yes, yeah.
I just went to her restaurant like 3 years ago.
She was literally just at my job. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the model of what we should be looking like, and the Black family and couples and this, that, and the other. And again, we put Barack and Michelle on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Everybody puts Barack and Michelle on a pedestal. You'll hear hood men all the time, all day, every day, talk about, oh yeah, be my Michelle. You understand what I'm saying? Like you hear things like this at all times.
Meanwhile, they not Barack, but okay.
Meanwhile, they not Barack. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there.
You tried it.
But what I'm saying is, we're not necessarily seeing that in the mainstream. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We are not necessarily seeing that in the mainstream anymore. And I was segueing that into this T.I. and Tiny story. Now, you put me up on this whole T.I. and Tiny story. When I think of
allegedly,
when I think of role models in the Black couple, I mean in the Black community period, we idolize a lot of different people for a lot of different things, right? So everybody T.I. is known for being a sesquipedalian, right? And a sesquipedalian is a person who loves to use big words. And he is known for that, and people idolize him for that. And when things come up in conversation, it's for that. And although couple-wise, they may not have been a role model, there was respect to a certain degree because of the family culture that is portrayed on television and in the media, with blended families and your kids and yours, mine, and ours, and everything that they do, and in raising them, and in family events and vacations and environments and household and this, that, the other, and
even the way they discipline.
Right. And so to teach a lesson more so than anything else. Absolutely. And so when I think of some of our role models, it's funny. It seems like everyone who becomes a staple in our culture, something happens.
Stop right there. Everyone that we have deemed as a role model that has done a great deal of things for our culture.
Right.
Their legacy
Right. Their legacy is being completely tarnished. Again, so everybody knows the whole Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show was a staple in the Black culture. I don't care who you are, where you're from, class, creed, anything. In the Black culture, the Cosby Show was a staple in the Black culture. And of course, we know that image has been tarnished.
But to me, it doesn't take away. It doesn't take away from what he did. I will tell you this. Of course
not. What he built, I don't
for us. Yeah. For us. If you did not, just to give you a little whatever, if you did not want to go to college, when you saw a different world, you wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to this fictitious school. Like I love the school because of all the things that just went on. He made HBCU the thing to do. Even though we all ended up at Rutgers. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you fast forward to, you cannot, to this day, you cannot go to a cookout, a wedding, a birthday party, or anything else without playing Robert Kelly.
Right.
I don't care where you go to and it's so funny because people are so torn now. When the songs that used to get you up out your seat and you knew were going to be played at these
start
events,
thinking hard.
Now when it comes on, now you're sitting there like, but it's a good song though. Like, do I get up and dance to it? Do I not get up and dance to it? Like, how do I feel about this?
I remember
Step in the Name of Love.
I remember going up to the DJ and asking, could he play this? And he was like, "You gonna get me killed in here." Like
you can't do it no more.
You can't do it. Yeah.
You can't do it no more. So it's staples in the Black culture. And of course there's more staples. Everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson. Everybody wanted to moonwalk.
Michael Jordan.
It's like almost every staple has been tarnished. So I'm saying that to say, now we're on this T.I. and Tiny story. T.I. and Tiny were not necessarily major staples as Robert Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Barack and Michelle. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily as big as.
But he did a lot for the community. T.I. did.
However, he was respected, and their family dynamic, when it was right, was respected as far as raising children concerned. Again, not the monogamy or lack thereof, and the back and forth in their relationship, but the family dynamic was respected. So now that brings us to this story where allegedly T.I. has been named as being drugging and sexually assaulting up to 33 women, with Tiny being a part of it, providing the drugs for these women to either be with T.I. individually or them as a couple.
And also, not only that, those two things, but also it was also stated that he gave STDs to several people as well.
And incurable STDs.
Incurable, yes.
Yes, incurable STDs to several of the women that he apparently, allegedly drugged and slept with. Okay. Now, after all of the stories came out, T.I. went on his own page and went live on Friday evening, stating that, I really wish he had not done this before speaking to a lawyer, stating that what goes on in his bedroom between him and his wife is him and his wife's business, but none of it was done forcefully. And none of it was done without consent from the people he was with. The funny part about that, which none of this is funny, But the irony in that was somebody said, can you give consent when you're high? So if y'all was popping pills together, and if you did not know that this was going to happen before you got there, by the time you were high, can you necessarily give consent?
No. No, you can't.
I digress. Yes, I digress. So I'm asking the question. In the African American community, is there anything that we can hold on to? Do we, because unfortunately in our community we have this cancel culture where so-and-so is canceled, this person's canceled,
or guilty before it plays out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do with this? What do we do with this? Being what I want to feel, we are an evolved people, some of us trying to be, at least working on it.
Okay.
What do we do with this information in a Me Too environment, in a cancel culture, as evolved, trying to evolve and forward the race? What do we do with this?
Good question, Chanel. So I'm going to say a couple things, and I'm going to be cautious about what I say. I in no way condone any behavior, misogynist behavior, entrapment, enslavement, disrespect, domestic violence, or anything when it comes to females. Males either. Just know that. I'm just saying. But when it comes to females either. I will tell you too, that it is when you open up your bedroom to other people, I will tell you that you are subjecting yourselves to a lot of things, not just diseases, not just division, the things that we commonly know.
No, but like these accusations.
But you are opening yourself up to accusations. You are opening your family and you up to, imagine sitting down and having to speak to your kids about the allegation that is actually happening right now because you chose to open your bedroom door. Now, I'm not speaking against that. Let me have you know, I'm not speaking against that. If that's your twist, then by all means, do you, boo. But all I'm saying is that when you open it up, you need to know that you need to be prepared. He said, everybody knows what you and your wife is into. Absolutely. We clear. We know what Todd and Candy is into. We know. What they into, sis? No, because they make them sign consent. Todd and Candy, they open their bedroom too. They do their thing. But they sign, some disclosures and things like that. And some people do that.
Need this? Why do celebrities need this?
Spice it up. Just one idea.
But this is what.
Why do they need to spice it up?
This is a norm in this world. This is a norm in this lifestyle. You know what? Maybe it's just a norm in ours too. But in ours, it's called cheating. In theirs, it's
but you know what? No, hold up. It might be spicing it up. It might be, adding some vibrant whatever to your life or whatever. But you got to understand that celebrities are accessible and have money, and they kind of just open themselves up to doing whatever they can pay for. Let's just be real.
But that's
Can I ask a question though?
Go ahead.
And I said all of the things that I said because I want to ask a question. I read the 33 allegations against T.I. and his wife and the friends. I really want to know that there are several women that went back, that actually went back multiple times to do things and got paid for it. This is what they said. not from me, but got paid for it. I'm gonna ask you this: are they then victims?
Not if you know what's going on. If you know what's going on, you know what happened before. Mm-hmm. And if it's been multiple times, you know what has happened 2 times before. What, in essence, are you going back for? You know what you're dealing with. So no,
okay.
You're not,
But I read, no, because the reason why I'm saying that is because I read the allegations, and one girl was like, he called me again, and I went. And the other one is, he called me again, and I went. They were paying, and they paid me in this amount of money. My thing is that then, are you considered a victim if this is what you continually do? And I'm not making any judgment. I am asking a simple question of, are you still a victim if you are subjecting yourself to that? And I have not made a stance. I don't have enough information to make a stance. There were allegations that were put out there. They were saying that, he has an STD that he has given. They were saying that the best friends was helping them and get these women from the club or whatever like that.
Well, let's be clear. Half of the women reporting are night dancers.
Absolutely.
Half of the women that were reporting have some kind of physical 1-2 step in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about necessarily doing things for money, I don't know. Go
now,
ahead.
let me just tell you, this will play out if they are going to a lawyer or or whomever, and it plays out in court. There are pertinent things that are going to make this story either yay or nay. Yeah. If all of these women are accusing him of having an STD and he is tested and he has an STD, I don't know how he would avoid that.
I mean, he can say it wasn't forced.
Absolutely.
He can say it wasn't forced. He can say that they were aware. Like he just said in his video. In his video, he said they were aware and
that he had an STD.
I mean, he said they were aware and nothing was forced.
Okay. So my thing is that there are pertinent things, conversations or whatever. It is a receipt year. For whatever you've done in the dark always comes to light. Is that not correct? Anything that you felt like you got away with, I always tell everyone that 2020 and 2021 have been karmic years. Literally karmic years. I don't know if everybody realized that. Whatever you sold, literally is coming back to you. Preferably, you sold well.
Yeah.
Preferably, you sold in good soil. Because I'm telling you right now, it is a karmic years. And unfortunately, my mother always says this, whatever you do in the dark comes to light.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I wanted to say, if it's done habitually, does that then make you not a victim? Because if you first time got drugged, you felt some type of way. Somebody also said, their vagina felt some type of way. I'm just going to put it out there. Their vagina felt some type of way. One mouth, she had lockjaw or something, thought she had tonsillitis, had to go or whatever. Said that she gave a job for 6 hours. I don't know how she remembered that if you were drugged for 6 hours. I don't know how you remember that you did that for 6 hours. But what I'm saying to you is that if it was done and it can be proven, then rock on. He should be held accountable. Him and his wife should be held accountable. If it was done in the manner, understand, because giving somebody roofies or drugging them or giving them to the mollies or to the point, because that's what they said, a lot of the drugs is mollies and everything like that. But giving it to the point where if you did not know, if you went to a party with them and you did not know what was going on, you did not consent to anything, you were slipped something, you were coerced or forced or whatever, that, you know, they locked the room and enslaved you and it did not allow or entrapped you and did not allow you to go out, then rock on. They deserve to be punished to all of them, everyone involved. Mm-hmm. Everyone involved. Mm-hmm. But if this is your lifestyle and this is what you do and you habitually kept doing, I'm not saying you're asking for it, but you literally are putting yourself in a compromising position. Mm-hmm. Should I say? That's how I feel.
Can you complain? Can you make a case if you knew it?
How are you the victim?
But wait. Mm-hmm. Wait. Because let me tell you how gray that line is.
It is gray. It is.
Let me tell you how gray that line is. Mm-hmm. We can clearly say here in this T.I. case, if they did not know and then they were drugged and then things happened, that's one thing. But if they came back on a repeated case, then that could potentially be another thing.
Okay.
So when R. Kelly had women for years at a time, and we watched the surviving R. Kelly story.
Okay.
And there were times where people could escape.
Absolutely.
And there were times where people kept coming back.
Okay.
Did we consider them victims?
There is Stockholm syndrome.
You feel sorry for
It's real. It's real. Yeah. It is a real thing. Yeah. So you're absolutely right in that. I don't know what justice deems a victim. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what our society deems a victim. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
From the law standard.
From the law standard. But even from, because we're brutal, our community is brutal with, things like this. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what deems. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And I want to be cautious because I am a female. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to sit in a judgmental
And you don't want to condemn anybody. Yeah.
I don't want to condemn anybody. I don't want to sit in a judgmental seat. Mm-hmm. I do not want to look like I'm, like I turn a blind eye to rape or any type of abuse towards women. I don't want to do that because I don't. I'm very adamant with, I have a soft spot for that.
Yeah.
So I am in no way, but I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand it.
I think the deeper conversation that needs to be had it mirrors the conversation that we've had at some of at the women's conference of and what we discussed we were going to be talking about on future shows. Okay. The mental and emotional state of a lot of us as Black women.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like we can do a whole series for an entire month of March on the mental and emotional state of Black women, because I feel like it is necessary. And not only because of the obvious, but because just because this is T.I., anything about me can be compromised because he's famous, because he has money.
Right.
Again, I feel like it's the same thing, and I hate that because this is alleged, and if anything is fake, I hate to keep mirroring this R. Kelly situation with T.I. But what I will say is, it's the same thing. You had parents who were basically giving their daughters to R. Kelly just so because they thought that it would help to make them famous, you know? And it's like as a culture, and even though they were children at the time and their parents should have known better, but as a culture, number one, but even us as adult women in our culture, the fact that we will compromise to the point of being locked in a room, and some of us voluntarily will put ourselves there.
I think it's more like you said. It starts with us teaching our youngins, our girls, esteem. It starts with if you see that your child is vulnerable in certain instances, you teach them more. You pay attention to that. Yeah. You bring light to certain situations. You talk to them about being in compromising positions. You talk to them about selling themselves, literally and figuratively. You talk to them about not compromising their morals, their values, themselves, or having self-care when it comes to it's just so many things that we need to pour into our younger, the youngins, I should say, in order for us not to, now you can't hear me. All of us have our experiences, right? Mm-hmm. Every single one of us have our experiences, right? Which make us what we are today. Mm-hmm. It shapes the molds. Right. So I can't say that I've never been in a compromising position. I can't never say that I've not been subject to things that I shouldn't have, which taught me, allowed me to teach my daughter. Now, does my daughter come here with all just because I told her? She doesn't come with all the things that and that's fine. And in dealing in formative years that assist in building character, I understand. When you have a 35-year-old woman who is voluntarily being drugged to come back to have sex with a couple, allegedly, what is our frame of mind here? What are we thinking? When you have a 35-year-old woman that has heard of the abuse and does not care, scandal, right? And the scandal for the last 20 years that we have been hearing of it, and you still voluntarily end up being one of R. Kelly's, whatever we call them, and staying in his house and then crying about how you have to use the bathroom in a corner. But you met him as a grown-up. You met him as what's supposed to be a woman. You weren't 14. You weren't 17. You weren't even 21. Again, it goes back to us building ourselves. It goes back to us having these hard conversations like me and you try to have all the time. It goes back to fixing each other's crowns. You know what I mean? It goes back to each one teach one. It goes back to being a village and everyone being the village to everyone else. It goes back to showing them that twerking is not the way. It's not. Pause. It's not. Cardi B is on everything. Meg Thee Stallion is on everything. We got a whole Busset challenge that is for twerking in itself. So what we are saying with our mouths and what we are showing everybody is quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. And let me tell you, so a conversation we were having in the hair salon the other day, right? We were having a conversation about, as women, how the kind of character,
that we should have and adopt and just out here in dating, right? And so I was saying, have you ever paid attention to in our culture the women that we look up to in music and movies and television? A lot of those women are single. You look at the Regina Kings, you look at the Regina Halls, you look at Jill Scott, you look at Erykah Badu, you look at Lauryn Hill, you look at Taraji Henson, you look at all of these women that we look up to are all extremely successful women and extremely single. Now, whoever they may have on the side, it might be dating, it might be doing whatever, you don't know. But they're not publicly with or linked to anyone.
Okay.
There is no known relationship with anyone. And then you look at the Cardi B's, and then you look at do you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely.
And what is my question here? What is my question here? Because even as women, like I said, I understand building character and learning life lessons from when you're younger and being in your 20s instead of other. Like, I get it all day. But you talking about 30, 40, 50-year-old women. You talking about Tracy Ellis Ross. You talking about all of these women that we look up to and admire. And these are your favorite singers and your favorite actresses on every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Single.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So when I talk about the mental and emotional headspace of us as a whole, as Black women, oh God, it's
have we bought into the idea? This is such a loaded conversation. I want to ask this question, and I'll pose this to everybody. Anybody can comment in the chat or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll pose this question. Have we, like some men tend to think, have we developed a sense of we're educated now, we are moving up in the world, and we don't need a man? Do you think? I don't know. I would love to interview them. Maybe we'll do that.
I don't know, because it seems the ones that are doing the Busted Challenge and the ones that are twerking on social media are the ones who are extremely happy with whomever. So I'm tying all of this into this T.I. stuff, and I'm tying all of this in to the R. Kelly stuff. I'm tying all of this in. The mental and emotional state of us as Black women. And I'm not even talking about the young girls. And I'm separating girls from women by age, not maturity. So let's just get that straight here.
Absolutely.
The mental and emotional state of us as Black women, period. Where are we? What are we thinking? What are we doing? Is that the reason why it is so easy to be drugged, allegedly, by a couple and then go back, but then claim abuse? Like, because we were focused on money, because we were focused on celebrity, because we were focused on fame, did we think that we were going to get something from it? The same thing with Robert Kelly. You ended up being one of his slaves, using the bathroom in a corner, and you're 30 some odd years old, hearing the stories, knowing what's going on. You did it anyway. And again, while we can't sit here and judge, what is the mental and emotional state of us as Black women?
I want to add in there survival. I want to add in there survival because you have to understand some of the mentality of
some of us,
of
some of our sisters.
Some of us are taught, and I've heard. I wish I haven't, but I have heard this from women that are older. I've heard the statement that if you have a vagina, you should never be broke. I've heard grandmas tell their daughters that, their nieces that, their grandkids that. I've heard it. I've heard it. You got to understand that there is a subculture within our culture that teaches our young girls to use their body and whatever as the means to survive. So there are some people that are not going to find anything wrong with it. Anything wrong with that. And let's just be real. I've seen it. I have grew up with them. You understand? I'm grateful that I had a mother that told me education was my key. She didn't tell me my skin color was my key.
Sit down. And you better go somewhere and sit down.
And get somewhere and sit down. You got this body, but guess what? I'm glad that she didn't teach me that my skin color was my key. She didn't teach me that. You understand what I'm saying? She said to me, your brain is what's going to get you. And that's what I use. That's what that was my weapon. But on the flip side of it, I have grown up with people. I have had friends. I have seen it with my own eyes where I'm like, wow, that they have used.
And now I'm going to ask you this question. Okay, yes. So there's a subculture within our culture where it's use your body to get what you need in life, use your body to get where you want to get in life, use your body. You should never be broke or never be in want of anything if you're using your body. So with all of that being said, were they wrong for saying it? Now, while that has never been me, while that has never been you, given the examples that I just gave, the culture we are in, what we see, were they wrong for saying it? You have people like Kylie Jenner that completely had plastic surgery to change everything, and now is a millionaire based off of her modeling and you know everything she can give on social media. Again, I love Cardi B. I see nothing wrong with Cardi B at all. However, that is a part of that underlying culture that we are speaking of.
You bring up Kylie Jenner, and then you bring up it's our culture is a little
ours is different from theirs. Yes, totally. Ours is different from theirs.
I just want to say that.
Yeah. Ours is different from theirs.
Yeah.
But the concept is the same.
Okay.
Were the older women wrong for saying it?
I had one. I have a daughter, and I mold her in the same way. Right. Knowing she's going to make her mistakes, knowing that she is going to do stuff, and knowing that there is always going to be a naiveness in them, you know, and it's all about life experience that teaches them not to. And prayerfully, you pray and you just hope that they don't, in the end, that they come out not unscathed. Because I hate saying that. I hate saying for them not to, because just you gotta hurt build something. What you go through builds you. I don't want her feeling everything, but I need her to feel something. I don't want her ever
something and learn.
Having no experience.
Build character.
So it builds something, but I would never teach my daughter to use what she has in order to get ahead, because that even get old.
Yep.
That even gets old, and that does not last. Do you understand? It does not last. I will teach my daughters that education does get, and I don't care what it looked like. Let me say this, because to you good the women out there, right? I know that there are women out there that be like, you know, I did all the right things, you know, I did all the right things. I wasn't a hoe, you know. I didn't sell my body, you know.
What did Jasmine Sullivan just say?
Right.
What did Jasmine Sullivan just say? A girl like in her song, "A Girl Like Me." She said, why these hoes be winning?
Right.
You know, like
she did say that. Like, so what I'm saying is that I don't want people to ever think, I don't want females that have done the right thing. And I'm going to say the right thing in whatever your eyes is. Right? Whatever your eyes is. That you lose because you have a standard, or you lose because you have some morals and values, or you lose because you're established, or you lose because you're educated and you chose to wait to have kids with the right person, or anything like that. I just don't want any woman thinking that they're losing because of their choices to have a standard.
Yeah.
That is not it.
Right.
That is not it.
Yeah.
Yes, the world has changed, right? And we're supposed to be in this world, not of the world.
I mean, it has changed, but not really. Yeah, that's like the oldest profession ever. So, I mean, you know, like, has it really, like, you know, like at the end of the day, that's still what makes the world go round.
It wasn't on TV, Chanel. I remember that back in the day when I was growing up, HBO, like after dark. It was after dark. Come on now. And you couldn't even say a curse word on TV. And you couldn't say that their kissing was like, and you were like, ooh,
and then it go off the scene.
That was a lot. That was a lot. So I'm gonna just tell you, there was not condom commercials on TV. There was not function. There was not sex. If you want to get, you know, it just wasn't on TV like that, right?
Yeah.
These kids were not exposed to, you know, we were not. I'm gonna just say I was not exposed to. My mom wouldn't even let me watch Three's Company. I still gotta ask her about that. I keep forgetting, but she just wouldn't let me watch, you know, Three's Company because Jack was with the women.
And I was with two women. That was just kind of like,
my mom was like, no, you know, and she used to make us turn her head whenever they did something inappropriate. I don't know why she did that, but my point is that we weren't exposed to that. There were certain conversations that we just did not have until it was age appropriate. Now, the world is different now, because I feel like if I don't have a conversation with my kids, my nephew, the world will have it with them.
Yeah.
And they will give them all the wrong advice, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to take away from the females that have actually used their minds as weapons and just climbed the corporate ladder without sleeping around and just, you know, just like I said, had a standard. I never want them to feel like.
And again, for all of us that do have a standard, I think that's all well and good. But I definitely think what needs to be researched again is the mental and emotional state of us as Black women, because while some of us are okay and some of us are maintaining and some of us are good and not perfect, you know, but some of us are dealing and getting through, others of us are not. And it can explain how you have a grown woman who is getting grown women who are getting drugged and then coming back again.
I will always say this. When I hear a female talk about someone and they did something like really, you know, atrocious or whatever, my first statement is always, what's her story? Because to me, the definition of who a woman is exactly that, her story. Right? HERSTORY. Her story and whatever she's gone through, whatever she was exposed to, whatever was taught to her. You learn a lot about a female, what they've seen in their childhood eyes, what they were exposed to. You know a lot about a female when you listen to her story. So most of the time when I sit back and I look and I say, and they say she did this and she did that, but what's her story?
Yeah.
What's her story? There's something. There's something that deep. Even if she did the most outrageous thing, there is a reason why she thought that was acceptable. There is a story behind, or somebody
drove her to that.
Or somebody showed her this, and this is what this is exactly what she did. She followed what she was taught.
Yeah, it didn't just
a
come
lot
out
of
the blue.
times.
Yeah, it didn't just come out the blue.
No.
It didn't just come.
So I just want to say that. Like, I want to say that yes, the mental state of the Black woman is pretty important. Because even if you're not the single mom raising a child, or you're unmarried or whatever, you could be the corporate girl that is climbing ladders but then feeling like you're failing in relationships. You know what I mean? You could have it all, a house, a car, or whatever. Right. And you could not have you could not have other things. You could have the kid and the husband and be lacking the education or lacking whatever else. There's so many layers to the mentality and the mental state of the Black woman. We definitely got to have that show.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that show, that's going to be a whole series. I think that needs to be the entire month of March for Women's History Month. I think the entire month, every week we will discuss that, and we'll have to get guests that coincide with that. So just so you all know, that is going to be our March because we just came up with that on tonight's show. But yeah. Like I said, I think it is worth studying the mental and emotional state of us as Black women as to how we would end up in situations and circumstances like that. Again, regular everyday stuff is regular everyday stuff. But when you are talking about situations where you are, and especially in a Me Too a Me Too era, to voluntarily put yourself in that kind of situation or in those kind of circumstances, knowing what's going on. And again, and this is not a judgment game.
Not at all.
We really need to get to the bottom of what the issues are.
It's not a moment of I want to bash you or I'm in judgment. It is, I want to fix our crowns. It is, sister girl, I need to get us together. I need to know what's plaguing us.
Right.
Because you don't know what's plaguing us until we have the conversations. Right. You don't know what's going on in our psyche until we break through and have these conversations that need to be had. So in order for us to know, in order for us to support, we just got to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And it is what we've always said, Chanel. I remember my mother always said to me, whatever going on in a house, stay in a house, right? And that's great. That's great, right? That shows your circle. That shows whatever. But we take it to the extreme sometimes, and we then leave everything in the house so that our friends can't help. And all of the people that are actually assigned to our life to help, we don't allow them to because we are not telling anything.
Well, the fact of the matter is, maybe we'll do these topics week by week, because that word friendship really is sometimes very superficial. Because is it really a true friendship if you're not sharing? Or is it really a true friendship if everything you discuss is on a surface level and you can't have these deeper conversations?
But Chanel, I did that. I did that for years. I don't know if I would deem myself not a friend. Now, there's some that are like that, but I don't know if I would deem myself not a friend. But the one thing that I will tell that, and I tell you this all the time, I'm a fool. I feel so stupid because I thought that my issues were not the same as my friends. So I thought that, you know what, let me keep this because they don't know what I'm going through. Their lives are a little bit more perfect, whatever I saw as perfect in my eyes, than me. So I can't relate. They can't relate to me.
Yeah.
I don't share the same whatever's to me. They would never understand. So I kept a lot of things hidden. And then I would do what most women do. I'd go through something, hide myself, get myself together, cry if I must, get off the, the shelter, get out the shelter, do what I need to do, and come back and be like, hey, girl,
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Sometimes that's talk. Sometimes that's talk.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think we need to discuss this, and I definitely think that it's a topic that needs to be talked about because it leads into how some of us can be in a situation like this, where 1 minute it's not everything's fine, but 1 minute you're doing something that you're voluntarily doing, and then the next minute, now it's you potentially have a lawsuit, and now you're potentially the victim, and it can go from here to here in a blink of an eye, and it's like whoa, wait, you weren't thinking this when this happened the first time,
right?
But now you on time number 3 or 4, like you when did it click? When did it process? Because somebody else said something and now you feel like you can say something? Or did it click and process beforehand? Were you scared to? Why did you keep going back? Was it, as you said in the beginning of this conversation, was it all out of survival? Was it something truly superficial? Was it the, oh, well, they're famous, and oh, well, they can give me money, and oh, they're going to put me on, and oh, I just want to be associated with these people, and I want to say I know these people, or say I was with these people, or say I did this, and da 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 da, and to your own disrespect and to your own violation, you did these things just to be able to say that, because in this day and age, that is more important than anything else. Like, was that it? Like, I feel like there's just a number of things it could be, and we really need to, get to the mental and emotional state of us as a whole, as Black women. Seriously. How many weeks we got in March? Let's see. How many Tuesdays in March? We got 5 Tuesdays in March. So we got five topics of discussion within the month of March.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited because I do want to, and I want pure honesty, and I want pure vulnerability, because that is actually how we break through and get right through our issues, and then you help somebody else. So I definitely
we definitely need a panel of women to speak every week.
Yeah, definitely.
So, between relationships and friendships, we have the bitter baby mama conversations that we said we were going to have. We have the whole, what we just discussed tonight with this whole T.I. and Tiny, and T.I. allegedly drugging women and grown women being involved with this, not just naive girls, but grown women, and why and how did you get yourself there? And there's really honestly just a lot to discuss about the mental and emotional state of us as Black women. There is a lot to discuss. There's a lot to discuss. So this should be interesting. But again, if you were just tuning into our show, we are sitting here. We are at home on our snow night, not in the studio, conducting our show. And we were supposed to have a guest. We had guests for the entire month of February. Our guest for this evening got postponed because he is shooting a reality show in LA. So we'll have him another time, and we'll be able to announce him another time, but he is not on the show with us tonight. So we chose tonight instead to focus on this alleged T.I. and Tiny situation, starting off with staples in the Black culture, and how it seems like everyone and everything that we have as a staple is tarnished. And then going into the mental and emotional state of us as Black women. So, I think we definitely have some ground to stand on as far as creating future shows with these topics, because I think there's a lot to say, and I think there's a lot that needs to be said about us as Black women, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did we have any other hot topics? I'm not even sure because we got stuck on that one.
Well, I just wanted to, in support of, we were talking about Black women, but I'm super excited that I just want to say, even in the month of Black History that it is, I just am super happy to say that Stacey Abrams has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And she is well deserving. She is well deserving. I am super excited about that. She took Georgia and put it on her back. And I am ever so grateful for her doing that in every way, regardless of how Democrat, Republican, whatever you want to call it, it was get out and vote and, you know, and overturn whatever that was in place in there just to get a stronger vision for community and help for the people and all that good stuff. So rock on, Stacey, and I pray that she's granted that. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Kudos to her.
So kudos to her.
Kudos to her. That is major, and she deserves it. She deserves it for all of her hard work, for running for everything, being in politics, and for changing the nation, basically, because that is what she has assisted in doing. Yes. So she definitely deserves.
And well, you know that she actually was offered a position in the White House and turned it down because she felt like if she went in the White House, then that she would lose what she established for Georgia. And I think that is honorable in itself. You know what I mean? She decided to say, no, I still got things to do in Georgia, work to do in Georgia. So kudos to her. I'm just excited and let's see how it's played out. I mean, just to be granted a nomination, I don't care if she gets it or not, just to be granted a nomination, to me is just, you know, we just, the Black, we are doing a lot of things.
That too.
We are doing a lot of things. Like, that's the part. Like, Black and women, or just women, you know, whatever you want to, you know, women of color, whatever you want to call or deem or fit yourself into, that's fine. We don't want to get technical, but I just think a lot of firsts are coming from women, and I love that. I love that. So
yeah, that's why I said some of us are in better positions than others. Some of us are in a great headspace where we're achieving and moving the culture as a whole forward, or moving us as a gender, as Black women forward. And, you know, and then some of the others of us are, you know, still struggling with some things. Again, we all individually are going to struggle with something. However, some of us are just a little more extreme than the others. I feel like that's just that. I mean, you know. Anyway, all right. So where else were we at with hot topics? Do we have any more? We were talking about T.I., we were talking about Stacey Abrams. Was that it? Or were we good with things? Because I feel like we stayed on T.I. for so long.
We did.
That I didn't even think we were going to stay on T.I. that long. I thought we were going to keep moving.
I didn't think so either. I just wanted to I don't know, you know, just my mind just wanders sometimes.
And so we definitely
get to talking and we're just like, you know, let's break this down.
Right. So that honestly ended up being the bulk of tonight's show.
I just will say that if you are, you know, if it deems that, you know, someone is a victim, please get yourself help. Please literally get yourself help, because you cannot get through this life without counseling. And counseling, again, I will tell you this, that counseling is not for the weak. It doesn't deem you to be weak. It doesn't deem you to be like, I'm crazy, because that's what, you know, a lot of people have grown up with the label of, if you go to the psychiatrist or psychologist, that you are crazy,
something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with you. No, something's wrong with you if you don't go counseling, because I will tell you that someone and everyone in life has something that humbles them that they've gone through. Of course. There is a part in time that you need to go seek help. And why not talk to somebody that is skilled and went to school for this, and a clinician that can assist you in whatever you're feeling. You know, I don't care if it's psychiatric and you have to take medication for having anxiety or whatever. If you have to do that, sweetheart, if you take blood pressure medicine for your heart, then anxiety, if you need a drug for that, there's nothing to frown upon about that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, you know. That's all I really want to say that. I want to say, because there are so many people that hide the fact that they are on anxiety medicine or have anxiety attacks or whatever. There are some people that hide the fact that they have been diagnosed with being bipolar or, you know, schizophrenia or any type of thing. You know, unfortunately, you are born with the chromosomes and the DNA and the genetics that you are, you know, you don't pick that. It just comes. You're dealt the hand that you're dealt. Unfortunately, we don't pick our parents. We don't pick our circumstance that we're born into. We don't pick anything. But I will say that you can have a choice to make your situation better by getting help in every single way, in every aspect that you need it. So I just wanted to say that to any victim, to any person just going through, to any Black boy, Black women, white man, white woman, whomever. It's just, you know, it's not an isolated thing, but I just want to say, get help. Get help.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. We talked about that a lot, especially last year, you know, with COVID and, you know, finally being in a space where a lot of people were actually able to think and face demons and trials and tribulations and had the time to deal with it. So we discussed that.
It's very suffocating to not deal with whatever. And then it's also suffocating. There are, I've talked with this about to a couple of people that I don't know if, you know, people are paying attention, but students are committing suicide. Students are going through their mental breakdowns because they don't have the school, you know, as a buffer. They don't have
or an
outlet or sports or anything for that matter. So, you know, a lot of children are taking their lives. There's a lot of people with mental illness already that are taking their lives. And then there's the misdiagnosis where people are not being diagnosed because they're home and, you know, they're going on certain things. I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I don't know if you know about this, but there was a 9-year-old little girl. Did you see that? Mother called, what she said she wanted to kill herself. This was in Rochester, New York, and they called the police department, and 3 officers responded. And instead of them treating this girl with some loving hands, I should say, they actually pepper sprayed the little girl. And handcuffed her immediately. I have a problem with that.
You think? I did see that. Okay. I did see the video. I did see the video of that. And why are you pepper spraying a 9-year-old girl? Why are you pepper spraying a 9-year-old girl? I'm so confused. What is it that was so out of hand that you needed? I really don't have too many words for it.
Let me just tell you that one of the officers said you can hear the officer in the cam say, "You're acting like a child." The girl responds, "I am a child." To him, "I am a child." And she said, "You said you were going to pepper spray me." And he literally pepper sprayed her. Again, we are talking about we've had a lot of discussions about people saying that we should not defund the police and we should not do whatever. Again, if you are not skilled to deal with these type of situations where the little girl said she wanted to harm herself or her mother, she is 9 years old. She is 9 years old. You are three, actually it was three and then a female, grown women. I mean men, I'm sorry. Three grown men and a female.
So four adults.
4 adults for a 9-year-old. Now they also said that the video was edited by police. I don't know what's going to happen. It did go viral. But I think it's disturbing, to say the least. She a little girl, you know, and at that point, at what point do you put down your police hat and say, we need to call crisis?
Like
we need to. This is above me and beyond me. This is not my scope.
Right.
I do not want to. I don't want no harm. The girl clearly was going through a mental breakdown.
Right.
But at what point
do police officers have a subdivision of people that they can call in instances like that?
They have all the numbers just like we do. I'm sure it's taught to them.
Okay. I mean, unfortunately, we see it all the time where people with mental illness are treated like animals by police officers, unfortunately. And maybe that's where our money should be going. Maybe our money should be going to in situations and circumstances like that, because we're seeing it way too much. What was the autistic young man out of New York that they killed?
Daniel. Oh no. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. There's too many situations like this. There's too.
Well, I was about to say, in this particular precinct, there was a 41-year-old man named Daniel Prude, who also was killed by police while being arrested because they did something with his hood, and he died from that. There is crisis intervention everywhere. There's not one.
So why shouldn't emergency officers have it?
Why are the 911? They have access. I'm sure they do. There's no way that you don't. Just like you can call the fire department and the police come. There are times when you can be like, you know what, this is not our scope. I understand. I see what situation. I'm here to de-escalate the situation, but I think this is out of my scope. Allow me to call crisis or whomever. Get on the phones. Get your little notepad out. Right, whatever. And then not only that, 911 callers, when the girl is saying there is a 9-year-old girl, female here trying to harm me and someone else, why don't you know, as a 911 officer, to dispatch the police and the crisis? Those are the things that we need to.
Yeah. That's where our money should be going. That is where our funding should be going. That's where our funding should be going. Not to all this other stuff, but it should be going there.
So I'm just concerned that what we're losing. We're doing a lot of losing. And I remember us having a show on defunding the police and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying with every situation. There have been detrimental situations. There have been situations, I've seen them, where they have no choice but to shoot someone because they are literally, they got a gun. they are actually aiming or shooting or doing whatever, there are certain instances that it doesn't require. And to me, this didn't require, she's a little girl. So at 9 years old, a 9-year-old little girl with my body strength, my whatever, I would be able to, that's like me and my kids or my nephew or whatever. Like, that 9-year-old is not, come on.
Yeah.
It didn't require all of that.
No. Yeah, I mean, it never does. It never does when it comes to that.
And it's not about, and understand, because everybody's like, we make it about race, this, that, and the other. Take her color out of it. Take her color out of it for a second. She's still a 9-year-old female. That's one. But the reason why you act so add color back in. The reason why you don't talk to her in a calm manner or de-escalate the situation, because all you see is a black 9-year-old little girl, and you feel like the only treatment for her is for you to handcuff her, for you to pepper spray her, because she's out. She's manic episodes are manic episodes. Whatever. Did you ask her why she felt the way she did?
Well, but first of all, why are you an officer if you're so scared of everything? Including, and I get the fact that it is a dangerous position that you volunteer.
We all understand
that you volunteer to have, but in the event that you can put, because I'm sure what's going in the police report is there was at some point some level of fear from this 9-year-old girl that you needed to do this in order to maintain and control the situation because of a fear of blah, 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 blah. So, it's a sad case. Unfortunately, it's another case in our community where will justice be served?
Maybe not.
Doubt it.
I mean, there was no response from them. They said that they did what they deemed as they saw fit for this situation. That's what they said. So
I'm sure they did. Well, in the meantime, we are going to be praying about that situation, and hopefully there is at the end of it all, there will be some resolve. Again, unfortunately, in our culture, there usually is not, but
no,
we're going to hope that hopefully something different happens. For tonight, though, we are coming to the end of our show.
Yes, ma'am.
And we thank you guys for being here with us the entire time, and for watching and for listening and for being a part of tonight's show. I'm going to just stop announcing guests because hopefully they don't postpone. But we do have another guest with us next week. So, and for the rest of the month of February, and I will announce them, over the weekend.
Periodically.
Yeah, over the weekend, so that you guys can tune in and be a part of that with us. But in the meantime, my final words for tonight are I'm excited about the fact that we are going to put together a program that is going to help with the intent, because we keep talking about in 2021, what is your intent and motivation behind doing, saying, thinking, feeling things. And I want to put together this monthly program for the month of March with the intention upon helping to elevate us as women, helping to get to the bottom of some of our issues, and where we can elevate us as women in this culture, So I'm excited about that, and I'm going to get on that first thing tomorrow morning after I figure out if I'm gonna have this hot chocolate or this wine for tonight. But anyway, those are just my final thoughts. What are yours?
Mine are just Black women, we love you. We love you. We want to see us win, and we want to see us healthy in mind, body, and soul. And I just want to say, just live, continue to live and be healthy, be wise, and continue to fix each other's crowns, guys, because we need that. You know, every constructive criticism is not in a judgment to you, but it is definitely for growth. There are times when, you know, Chanel, you have to criticize me. There are times when you have
vice versa.
And vice versa. There are times when we have to do that to one another. So it's not deemed you know, no in judgment of anything, but we are trying to get to the betterment of our people, of our kind, of our culture, you know what I mean? And that is, we only do that with some correction or some form of just delving into the issues that we face. So rock on, and we love you.
We love you guys. Again, that is our show for tonight. It is the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. I am Chanel. That is Miss Queen B. And again, we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening. Stay tuned with us next week. Same time, same place at 7 o'clock. God willing, we will be here. Everybody, please be safe. If you are here on the East Coast and you are in this snowstorm, and everybody, please be safe while we are still out here and in the midst of COVID. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Jeff, take us away.